Our last bill up for the day is House File 2403, and it's a Representative or Co-Chair O'Driscoll's bill. Wait. All right, Chair O'Driscoll moves House File 2403 be placed on the General Register. Chair O'Driscoll, like the last bill, we will move the DE1 amendment, adopt the secondaries, adopt the DE1 as amended, and then proceed to the bill presentation and discussion. So the first is that the DE1, Co-Chair O'Driscoll moves the DE1 amendment before the committee. The first amendment is the A2 amendment. This is a Representative Finke amendment. Representative Finke, would you like to move the amendment and explain that to, just talk a little bit to what the amendment is?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and members. This is the amendment on, excuse me, on the water bill that we heard. It represents a lot of negotiation that was done with the Senate and with our House colleagues and with the stakeholders. I believe everybody everywhere is now ready to move forward with this. It put a ticket requirement in the bill so that it is for ticketed events. And I'm happy with that change. Thank you. I move the amendment.
Okay. Any discussion on the A2 amendment? Representative O'Driscoll.
Madam Chair, Representative Finke is 100% right. This comes through negotiations between the parties and as a part of the overall agreement to be able to get to a policy bill that we can pass out of committee today. And I would encourage members to support the Finke amendment this morning.
Any further discussion on the A2? Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed, nay. And the motion prevails, and the A2 amendment to the DE1 amendment is adopted. On to the next amendment, which is the A3 amendment. Co-Chair O'Driscoll, this is your amendment. Could you just describe the amendment, and then we can move the amendment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, as a part of a global agreement to get a commerce policy bill that can be supported by the parties, a two-part compromise is represented in the A3 amendment today. It contains provisions from Representative Elkins' bill, House 2235, dealing with Medicare supplements and the language that is there. And it also incorporates the governor's proposal for guaranteed renewability. So those two items together, we're going to be adopting the language from those two sources. And members did hear about that in committee. And I think we're in pretty good shape on that and would encourage a yes vote.
All right. And any member discussion? Representative Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is probably more of a statement than a question on this because I know we've had discussions and this has come out of some negotiations. But I think this is a pretty sizably dangerous amendment that is being added to a bill that has a lot of great stuff. But this is something I can't vote for either in this amendment or in the bill. And, you know, I think if we asked everyone on this committee what's more important, if someone gets the care that they need or they can afford to pay for the care that they need, I think everyone, and even people here who are representing the plans, everyone, and I think you'd all be honest in saying it's more important the person gets the care that they need. And so how have we made decision after decision, decades in the making, where we have an insurance industry where people are not getting the care that they need, if that's a fundamental belief that we all have, which I think it is. And it's these decisions, it's small decisions that we're all making, and I mean policymakers, decade after decade after decade. What does this open enrollment period and repealing it mean? Remember that question. What's important? That if someone gets the drugs they need, the care that they need to make their lives better, elongate their lives, let them spend more time with their loved one, or that they can afford it. Imagine a 67-year-old on Medicare who finds out they have throat cancer, kidney disease, various kinds of diseases where Part B medications in Medicare will cover part of it. And they find out there is this hormone injection or this is particular steroid that will incredibly help their quality of life and to elongate their life. And then they find out what the bill is going to be, even though they have Medicare. And your aunt, your grandpa, your close friend, your neighbor, looks at their financial situation and realizes they can't pay for that medication very long. They talk to their friends, their family, they say, hey, there's Medigap plans. I got one. Go talk to a broker, figure something out. There's ways you can get supplemental coverage for this. After this bill is passed with this provision in it, that broker can say, of course, there's Medigap coverages you can take, there's different ideas of plans, but you didn't enroll in the first 6 months when this was available to you. And so you'll have to fill out this questionnaire. And on that questionnaire, there'll be a question that says, do you have a diagnosis of thyroid cancer, kidney cancer, whatever it is, kidney failure? They'll mark the yes, and they will not get the coverage because it's adverse selection. It's another way that insurance companies can keep people who are expensive out of their plans. And I understand the reasoning behind this, right? We don't want premiums to go up. Or another way, we don't want profits to go down. But that question is still there. For that 67-year-old, they're going to get denied care. And it's going to be because of the decision we make today and is made up on the floor probably in a couple of weeks. I think this is bad policy, and it may seem like a small sector of the overall insurance industry, but it's a really important one. We have to stop making these decisions to make it harder to get care for people in Minnesota. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Smith. Any further discussion on the A3? Hearing no further discussion, any final thoughts on the A3, Representative O'Driscoll, before we go?
Just encourage a yes vote, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So I think that I didn't move the A3 before we started discussion, so I moved the A3 amendment. And so all those in favor of the A3, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
No.
The motion prevails and the A3 amendment to the DE1 amendment is adopted. Our next amendment is the A4 amendment. Chair O'Driscoll, would you like to move and describe the A4 amendment?
Give me just a moment, Madam Chair. The A4 amendment provides some technical corrections to a new form of long-term care that the committee heard called limited long-term care coverage. And the revisor's office had suggested some reference changes, and that's what the A4 amendment does, is provides that clarification. I encourage members to vote yes on the amendment.
Members, any discussion to the A4 amendment? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? The motion prevails and the A4 amendment to the DE1 amendment is adopted. Okay. We are to the A9 amendment, and I will move the A9 amendment. The A9 amendment is the Freiberg bill that we just heard. Any questions to the, any discussion to the A5 amendment? I'm sorry. My apologies, the A9 amendment. Any discussion on the A9 amendment? Representative O'Driscoll.
Madam Chair, this is the bill that we just heard from Representative Freiberg moments ago in committee, and I had strongly spoken highly of that, said there would be an amendment coming forward. The amendment is in front of you now, and I encourage a yes vote.
Any further discussion on the A9? Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? The motion prevails and the A9 amendment to the DE1 amendment is adopted. The next amendment is, I will offer this is the A10 amendment. I move the A10 amendment. This amendment is a technical correction. It also includes, Representative Dodd-Seth had actually brought up a really good point about the subjectivity of some of the terms in these provisions, and so the bankers came back and provided some direction as to how to define these terms and what is already in statute. And so there's technical amendments, it's technical in nature and also clarifies that particular language. Is there any discussion on the A10? Co-Chair O'Driscoll, any thoughts or comments?
Madam Chair, that you are exactly right. Representative Dossett did raise the question. You had concerns. You and I spoke about it. We talked to the stakeholders. We found a great way to handle this, and the amendment addresses that. And I think all concerns have been satisfied. I encourage a yes vote.
All those in favor of the A10 signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? The motion prevails, and the A10 amendment to the DE1 amendment is adopted. So then on to the DE1 amendment as amended. All in favor of the DE1 amendment as amended, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion prevails and the DE1 amendment is adopted. Chair O'Driscoll, to your bill as amended.
Madam Chair, the DE1 amendment as amended, the only other thing I would add is it's been great to work with folks throughout this session on a lot of good bills. And again, I want to compliment this committee and you, Madam Chair, as a co-chair. You have been an excellent partner. And I brag all around this legislature and this House about how we are working and functioning in this committee at a high level for very important aspects. And this bill does show the work of this committee that will benefit Minnesotans in the years to come. And Madam Chair, with that, we can go ahead and amend the DE amendment into House File 2304 and move to a vote unless there are other questions.
Any further member discussion?
Excuse me, 2403, not 2304. I don't want to put it in somebody else's bill.
2403, is that, did I say the wrong one? Well, I'm not doing good today. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, I will just make a really quick comment as well that I do want to thank this committee. I know that there were times that, Representative O'Driscoll, Chair O'Driscoll and I, we tried to really bring bills forward that we thought had the support, that, we thought that would be good bills to move forward. And there have been times on each side of the aisle which we've put up bills that we know that, each side may not have really, would have wanted that bill, but that everybody treated each other with respect and worked through these issues. And I really appreciate all the committee members for that, and also Chair O'Driscoll for having been such a great partner in this work and talking through any kind of bumps that we ran into. And so I really just appreciate the work that went into this bill. I think that it is a very good bill. Representative Smith brought up a point that I think is very valid about the feelings of what it is that we choose to do in committee, and I think that that is a very valid point. I think that overall, this is still a really good bill, and I would encourage a yes vote for all of our members. All right. Hearing no further discussion, Co-Chair O'Driscoll, any final thoughts?
Madam Chair, just looking forward to moving the policy bill out to the general register.
All right, then Co-Chair O'Driscoll renews the motion that House File 2403 as amended is placed in the general register. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
No.
The motion prevails. House File 2304 as amended is placed on the general register. 2403, let me say that again. House File 24, I'm dyslexic, just so that anybody who doesn't know this, I think we need to put numbers bigger next time for me. House File 2403 as amended is placed on the general register. There we go.